Hello, are we waiting for the trainer or for the students?
Hello. Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Vinder.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Actually, we were waiting for a couple of other students as well, but I'm not sure whether they'll be joining or not. Yeah. So before they could join, can we have a quick intro from your side? Like, may I know what is your education background or professional background? Are you experienced or professional fresher?
Yes, sir. So, my name is Monica. So, I have done BCom honors and MBA in finance, and I have experience of 10 years, out of which I have worked in testing for 2 years in Dynamics 365. I'm looking forward to learn D365 as a functional consultant.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Sir, please start the class.
Okay, so are we expecting anyone else to join? We have only two students, only Monica and
Yeah, sir. 3 members is on లిఫ్ట్ చేయట్లేదు వాళ్ళు.
మీ వాయిస్ వినబడట్లేదండి.
ఇంకో 3 members ఉన్నారు కానీ కాల్ లిఫ్ట్ చేయట్లేదు సార్.
ఓకేనండి. Yeah.
ఓకే స్టార్ట్.
Yeah. Thank you, Monica, for your intro. Avinder, can I have your details?
Hello, so my name is Avinder. I am actually from data engineering background. I'm into IT already more than 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just joined this to explore this Microsoft Dynamics 365 and just, to see what is the scope in the future.
All right. I
Yeah.
hope you have gone through the course content that was shared by the institute, right? So did you get all the basic details, like Monica and Avinder both, of the course content syllabus?
No, I don't have those details.
Okay, no issues.
Yeah.
That should be fine.
Okay.
All right, so we'll quickly start the session. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So welcome to the Microsoft D365 Finance and Operations functional demo. And in short form, we can call it as a D365. So the product is of Microsoft. Yeah. In popularly, you will hear the name as a D365 FO Finance. FO Finance or SCM. Yeah. So ERP. So we'll start with the basics of ERP. I believe commerce background students are aware about ERP, but yeah, in general, ERP is called as Enterprise Resource Planning, which is a combination of all the modules uh, within finance, operations, or supply chain management. Any activity or any module that most of the organizations use, right, in their daily activity, in the daily activities. All those like tasks or anything will be categorized across the modules, like finance, SCM, everything into, and consolidating all those into one single software we call it as an ERP. Of course, there are multiple tools, multiple softwares are there specifically which are famous for AP, invoice, and all. But ERP is just a, uh, in nutshell, if you want to tell, ERP is a combination of all the modules of the finance and SCM both. So in general, these modules are most commonly used, like accounting, supply chain management, PMA, warehouse, asset leasing, sales, marketing, HR. All these will be combined. But in most of the companies, they use a separate tool for HR and or finance or SE. And we have popular tools in market are like SAP, Oracle, Coupa, right? Along with these, there are hundreds of tools are there. So D365 is also one of the ERP. Right, the SAP Oracle are very too old, and most of them are aware. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 is also one of the ERP, which has got multiple names. Like it was called as an AX, and then R1, R2, multiple versions. Names have been kept on changing. Currently, we call it as a D365 Financial Operations. And the most important thing that we should know is like this is like completely cloud-based tool which is used across the organizations. Earlier, even this also had, even now also older versions have the on-premise. I think so, but now it is Microsoft has made it mandatory everyone to go for the cloud versions. So basically, this is like a combination of across all the modules which can support medium, large size. Uh, it supports all modules, almost anything related to finance, SEM, warehouse, transport, logistics. Almost it has got all the modules. And these are the versions or the history of the D365. Initially, it was started as an acceptor, and then 2, 3, AX 2008, AX 2012, R2, R3, right? So these are the older version names you might frequently hear in case if you're working for any old projects or any for old companies. But latest, I mean, we call it as a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Financial Operations. And these are the higher level modules that Microsoft D365 has. Apart from these are like for the finance related, and SCM, transport logistics, and other commonly used modules. We have a lot of modules. These are the most commonly finance modules that we are going to cover as a part of training. But out of this, like we'll be focusing on general ledger, which is the crux of the entire accounting system. Any, not just accounting, let's say any ERP, if you want to start, or for any manufacturing service based production, any type of company, right, it is going to start with the general ledger. The basic setups that we're going to do is a crux of the entire accounting system, which has a connection across the modules, and followed by cash and bank management, accounts payable, which deals most of the accounts payable is like connected with the entire accounting cycle with the vendor related transactions, right from procurement to payment, and then followed by accounts receivable, right? This is like related to the customer related transactions, anything that order to cash, or we call it as a sales ledger, accounts receivable, all these are same, right from customer placing an order till we receive the payment, the transactions or the cycle that we're going to cover. And the basics of tax module and basics of budgeting. And fixed assets is basically every organization or any company will have a fixed assets, right, like vehicle manufacturing, production units, the taxation related, I mean the setups related to those fixed assets will be using this module. And tax is like obviously every company has to pay the taxes to the government, right? In order to calculate the taxes, record the transactions related to taxes, these setups are used. And budgeting is very rarely used, but as a basics we should be aware. Budgeting is again like it is used with an organization to set up a amount, certain amount for in terms of a budget for calculating their expenses or to generate any revenue. This is like a uh, to compare with their budget as well as actual. So there are certain setups that are required for this budgeting as well. And PMA subscription billing module, these are like advanced modules. Once you are comfortable with the basics of all these finance modules, you can explore this PM and the subscription billing module as well. I'll give basics, like, 1 or 2 sessions of this, but you can explore later. This is like an advanced version, I can tell. So these are the basics, which every every finance functional consultant should be aware, right from general ledger to till fixed assets. So the most important thing that we are going to cover as a part of demo is that you should know what is your role. Let's say any ERP, right? Let's say, for example, Britannia wants to implement, or if they wanted to, migrate from their existing ERPs, they must be using some SAP, Oracle, or any other in-house software from their existing ERPs to D365 for various reasons. In that case, they are going to reach out any implementation partner like, Infosys, Capgemini, or anything. Right? So they are going to form a team with the combination of functional and technical consultant. So here you will be a part of that functional team. So what are your roles and responsibilities as a functional team, as a functional consultant? So first thing is, since you understand the D365 features, functionalities across the modules, and you will start translating the business requirements, right? Because business is not aware. I mean, when I say business here, example, the Britannia, they are not aware what is D365 is all about. So you are going to understand their existing system, existing business process modules, what all they are using. You will gather all those requirements one by one, and then you'll convert those into whether they're available in D365 or not. This is kind of a understanding their requirements to match the terminology or the flow in D365 as well. See, most of the accounting concepts will remain same. The core accounting concepts will remain same. The only thing is about the interface. So you're going to continuously work with the business and the stakeholders to understand their requirements, and continuously will keep on working with the technical team to understand if there are any blockers, any customizations. Will in depth we will discuss one by one what will be your role, what kind of documents that you're going to prepare, how does a project works, everything. So this is like the most important, and this is the methodology. I mean, in order to implement, in our example, the Britannia wants to implement E365, right? The Infosys or Capgemini, any consulting company, they are going to follow certain methodologies, right? Any project, it is not applicable only for D365. Any software projects, any operations project, anything, right? So they need to have a predefined methodology. How are they going to start? How are they going to end up? What kind of blockers they are going to face? How are they going to face those blockers? So what is the operational metrics? All those things like will be calculated, right? Based on that, only billing is going to happen. So the most commonly used methodologies in the market that you might have seen is the agile methodology and waterfall methodology and shoe-step methodology. So what is the difference, like, between these three? Or like, see, agile methodology is again, let's say if the Britannia project, if they want to implement it, the entire project is going to be divided into multiple phases, and each phase sometimes will be given to different company itself. Right, the output of each phase one will become the output of phase two. But in agile methodology, most of the times all these phases, right, they'll continuously working, phase one, phase two, phase three, right? Instead of that, they will divide all these into across the departments, and every phase will continuously working parallelly. When I say continuous, it's a parallelly, all these departments will continuously working. Along with that, uh, and this is mostly used for a very typical and very big projects where the dependency is very clearly defined, and the action items are very clearly defined of each and every department. And we also have something called as a waterfall methodology. Here in the waterfall methodology, instead of what you call, working or taking up the activities of all the entire project into multiple phases, even here also the phase by phase it is going to happen, but the start is going to happen only after completion of the phase one. So multiple teams are not going to work at the same time. Instead of one by one, first the requirements and then design, implementation, verification, or testing, it's like a phase by phase we're going to implement. And Microsoft has adopted this waterfall methodology, and they've converted, or into their own methodology. They've created a separate methodology, like show step methodology. They are the basis of the show step methodology is a waterfall itself. So here again, we'll come back to the example of this Britannia, right? So what Britannia is going to do is it is going to approach any consulting company, and this consulting company is going to start with the basics. The first the discussion or the kickoff meetings that is going to happen between the consulting company and the Britannia, that we call it as a pre-sales methodology. And what is going to happen in the pre-sales is it is like a very initial stage of discussion, right? So as a team, the consulting team, we are going to we'll start their understanding their business requirements, the statement of work, what is the budget they are expecting us to implement, like quotations, negotiations, all these discussions from the higher level management, where solution architect will be part of this discussion, right? So they'll finalize all these things to convert that pre-sales project into a final project, whether that is doable or not, whether do you have enough resources or not, according to whether they need to hire any resources. So all this resource management, allocation, budgeting, all these things will be discussed within the pre-sales. And the proposal, like how long we are going to implement. Let's say if they have got very big project with multiple legal entities across the locations, how are we going to support them, right? Let's say if they've got some 20-30 legal entities, 20 different 30 locations, are we going to implement all these in a single phase, or phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? All these discussions in the higher level, very higher level, is going to happen with the help of the senior delivery managers will be there, right? So they are going to handle all these things. And as a functional consultant, you will be part of those discussions, because you are the one who understands the D365, right? The number related discussion will be handled by the team, the senior level team, but the tool related information that you, the senior consultant, all these, you guys will be the part of these discussions. That means you will make them understand what is there in the D365. This we called, sometimes in case if you're joining for a very such the project from scratch, right, you'll be part of this pre-sales as well. Or else most of the times this pre-sales will be almost done by the senior team itself. So once the project is finalized, then actual work, actual the requirement, actual work for the functional consultant is going to start. That we as a functional consultant, we are going to start working with the the business or the Britannia in our example, to understand their requirement, and then we'll translate them into FRDs. We'll give them each and every requirement ID across the modules like GL, any modules, whatever they're using, right? We'll convert them into the requirements, and then we'll also understand whether that is standard. Let's say out of 100 requirements, 50 are standard, with straight away you can see it in D365, and 50 are not available, or you need some more information, it might need some customizations. All those discussions we are going to do with the customer. You see, even though we have agreed initially from the higher level, but later once you deep dive into the requirements, then only you'll understand, right, whether that is available or not. But most of the times we will try to give some higher level input during the pre-sales itself. But later, yes, once you'll understand the actual requirement, few changes might happen here and there. So that's the reason we'll consider this as a gap fit analysis. How many features they really need, or if they do maybe they must be using few features in SAP or Oracle which are not necessary in D365. It might have combined with any other feature, or right. So there might be multiple reasons. Unless you go in depth of the requirement and do analysis, you'll not get to know whether that is really required, or it might need some extension, right? All those things will be taking a call only after getting into the discussions. For that reason, we will convert all these FRDs into gap fit, and we'll classify them into fit, gap, analysis required, and technical, developer, sorry, like, customization is required or not. All those things will classify based on the gap fit analysis. So these are the most important FRD, gap fit, because based on this only the entire project you're going to drive. So without having the clarity or clear analysis on this gap fit and functional requirement, how do you drive? You cannot drive the entire project, right? Because let's say initially you have agreed some 100 requirements, After 6 months of the project, what if the customer says that I need a new feature to be implemented? You're not going to accept that as a requirement. That is not, you're not bound to do those, right? The reason is, initially whatever that you have agreed from the higher level discussions in the pre-sales and followed by FRD, GAFIT, is something which is a finalized one. Rest of them you can consider as a complete new project, add-on or something. So that's the reason this is going to be base. The FRD is going to become the base of the entire project itself. And within this gap fit analysis, you are going to eliminate which are not necessary, right? And you are going to convert them into fit or gap, which is mandatory. All these discussion, all these will be finalized in this gap fit analysis. So followed by, obviously you will have, I mean, from technical point of view, the different types of environments that customer wants to have, and we are going to suggest them. Like obviously, UAT will be there, dev environment and SIT. These are like for the testing purpose, and dev environment is for the technical team. UAT, SIT is for the functional team. And the design stage, obviously, this is like, from based on the FRD, right? And gap fit analysis. If there are any functional requirements which needs to be customized, which are not available or which need some extension, all those will be converted into functional design document. Let's say if one requirement has got some customization or the field is not available. In that case, we will convert that into, the customization. We'll have the functional design document. We'll understand what is the requirement, why it needs to be modified, how it is going to impact the existing system, what is the expected result. All those in-depth details we are going to add it here, and we'll be working with the technical team in this stage, because technical team doesn't know what is a functional and you don't know what is a technical, right? You are going to convert the customer requirement into the functional requirement, like where is it coming from, what is the source, all those details you're going to provide it to the technical. They are going to do the testing, develop if there is any script or any customization. All those things, all those activities will be taken care by the technical team. Your job is only to translate the requirement with the flow chart and where is it source is coming from. Let's say on vendor form, if you want to add the location, but where is that location coming from? There is a separate form where we are going to have all the country details, location details, right? You're going to show all those details. So your role is very important as a part of FDD. And this TDD is as I mentioned, this will be complete technical team. They are going to use a TDD. It's like a technical related information. And solution design document, this is like irrespective of fit, gap, anything, any solution that you're going to provide, right? Once it is clear, let's say either customization is successful and the standard features, it contains both standard and customizations both. So you're going to make a detailed document for the benefit of users. This we call it a SOP, or you can also call it as an SOP, right? Most of the organizations, they follow this SOP to provide to their customers. And in this stage, you're going to decide the data as well. So let's say they're going to have uh, like in their existing ERP, they must be having the data, right? How are you going to migrate the data from their existing ERPs to D365? All those things you will be finalizing in this stage itself. And then followed by, this is like a testing. So once all this SDD, everything is rendered, here you're going to start configuring everything in the test environment, that UAT, SIT, or SCT, right? In these environments, you will start configuring one by one. You'll start testing them. You'll prepare the test cases one by one. How does it looks like? What is the expected result? And even customer side also, they are going to test one by one. So a lot of activities are going to take place in this stage exactly, because it's like a in-depth, it's like a proof of the proof, right? You're going to make a documented proof of each and every feature, whether that is really working or not. FRD, GAFID, that you have just tested randomly and you updated, that is working. But here in this stage, in the development stage, right, you're going to document it a very detailed way. The test cases, that we call it as a step by step. Let's say if you click on accounts payable, what is going to pop out and what is the expected result, whether it is working or not. Each and every feature you're going to add it here. Even in the previous SDD also, you're going to document. That document will be most in the Word documents, like let's say just a theory explanation as well as some screenshots of each and every feature. But test cases, right? See, nowadays most of the organizations they go for the automation testing. So we have multiple tools in the market, but RSAT is one of the Microsoft, owned RSAT tool. But I'm not sure whether they're going to continue this RSAT. Uh, no official update. I think some 2027 or 28 they're going to stop. I'm not sure. But there are multiple ways to test it. Either you can go for the RSAT where you can write the test cases and it is going to do automation and everything, or else you can go for the manual testing. So depending on the customer budget, either you can go for the RSAT or manual testing. Manual testing is like you are going to prepare the test cases, and the customer is also going to check one by one. Or if it is an RSAT, right, you can prepare the test cases in RSAT, and system is going to test it the back end, and it will give you the results. Even there also automation is there. And in this stage, you are going to prepare. You're going to train their end users also, right? Let's say we are almost done with the configurations, testing, everything is successful. Then you are going to train their Britannia end users. They are the one who is going to use the systems, right? You're going to train their heads, stakeholders, API, DIR, GL, all those users. You're going to train them, right? So that we call as the training sessions. And then deployment. So once all those things are done, like we will start, configuring the everything in the production environment. So once you start configuring the production environment, you will migrate the entire data from the old system, their legacy system to D365, and then even here also you will start. So basically here what we call it is uh, once you configure in the production environment, right? The end users are going to start in the production, but before that, what you will do is like we will reach out to the Microsoft with the go live checklist. So Microsoft is going to give us a go ahead. Yes, all these setups and configurations are away. I mean, there's a big checklist. So once we get a go ahead from the Microsoft, we'll start using it to the giving it to the users. Right. So users are going to start with the very small transactions. So let's say in their legacy ERP daily, if they're uh, posting some 100 or 200 invoices in D360, but they'll start some 10, 20, right, to see the errors. If there are any errors, are they used with the system, what challenges they're going to face. Slowly, phase by phase, they're going to adopt this D365 as well. So you'll be part of all these activities. Even this at this stage also, right, they will have some queries and blockers, right? That we call it as a post implementation support, or like cutover activities. I mean, it's a different the terminology, but the role or the activity, the task that you're going to do will mostly remain same. It's like post implementation that we'll call here, or hypercare, right? Operations, anything. All these are just one and the same. So again, here this is like a real time project. Real time issues that you're going to face in the tool. So till now whatever that you have configured, right? You might have tested only one or two, or like max three, four transactions. But in real time, once the user starts using the system, they are not going to post one or two, right? Straight away they are going to hit like 100, 200, thousands of invoices. That is where system will start, identifying the blockers. And you will start fixing those as a part of this post implementation support. Again, here the same process. You are going to assist them in fixing all the issues, documenting, preparing the knowledge base, all this like are going to be part of this post implementation support. And this is like a higher level again overview of each and every stage, right? And the project types that you're going to be part of as a functional consultant, right? Either support, implementation, upgradation, or testing. Support can be either for the new project or the existing one. It depends. So let's say if a company is already using D365 from almost 5 years or 10 years, anything. If they are looking for any support role, you can be a part of that support role and you can assist them on a regular activities on daily basis. And implementation is like implementing from the scratch. Uh, it is going to be from right from the the existing ERP, like complete scratch. You're going to be part from the scratch, or else you'll be, let's say, if they are already, you have joined some organization, uh, you're part of an implementation project. Maybe you might join in phase one, phase two. You don't know, right? So you will be given some task, and accordingly, you're going to pick it up from there. Upgradation is also kind of an implementation, but here the difference between implementation and upgradation is, upgradation, they must be using already the older versions of the AX, R2, R3, anything to D365. The reason is Microsoft has clearly, informed to the customers to upgrade it to the latest versions. And the support for the previous versions, they have completely stopped officially itself. If they are still using any AX12 R through, and if they face any issues, Microsoft is no longer going to respond them. So most of the project that we are getting and that you might see is all this upgradation to the latest versions. Even the work, the upgradation project is also kind of a implementation itself, because the tool itself, it is going to be completely different. A different, see, features almost will remain same. The user interface, the access, all those will be completely different, right? So that's the reason even here also you're going to gather all the requirements, testing, everything is going to be just like a implementation on itself. There is not much difference. But the only thing is you'll also be given access to the older version as well to test or to get some information. Right? But that is it depends. And even here also business will be there. They are going to help you with all the the data, everything. And the testing, see, testing is not kind of a separate project unless it is a very too big project of the company. Testing is a part of both upgradation, implementation, everything. And the different environments that you might frequently hear is like UAT, sandbox, dev, production, vanilla, right? Yeah. So these are the different types of environments that you're going to hear. And the one which we are as a functional we are going to use is UAT sandbox. And production is not for testing, only to fix or to understand the customer issues. Dev is for the technical. Yeah. So this is how the project is going to start and end and continues. This is a journey that you're going to be part of the as a functional consultant. This will be your journey. Yeah. So far, do you have any doubts? Any blockers? Any questions?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
So, first of all, you were talking about FTD and STD. So,
Mhm.
what exactly we mention or we record in STD? You said it is like a SOP, but what
Yeah.
all information we mention in
Everything.
that?
What all, when you say everything related to the functionality, let's say accounts payable, accounts receivable, what all features that we have agreed that customer is going to use, all those details in depth you're going to add. Let's say purchase order creation. How to create the purchase order, from where it is going to start, what all main accounts that we need to have in purchase order, what is the impact, how to create the GR, and how to post an invoice, how to create a purchase order, it is just like a material, you can call it as a SOP, anything from business point of
Okay.
view. Because that
Okay.
is the something, see, once the project is done, right, you
Mm-hmm.
never know whether you will be part of this company, or like they might, let's say the Infosys has implemented the implementation project to the Britannia. After implementation, not necessary whether they'll be in touch with the Infosys or not, right? So how are they going to access their requirements or their documentation? What is the solution they have provided? All this will be signed off. You need to document everything, uh, right? What solution that you have provided to the customer. That we call it as an SDD. It is going to be a very detailed one.
Okay,
So
sir.
during implementation stage itself, customer
Mm-hmm.
is going to review this SDD, each and everything. He's going to test from from, let's say, from consulting point of the consulting company from point of view. You will be the part of functionally, right? Even from the business side also, from Britannia side also, they are going to have a team, internal team, right? They are going to test each and everything here. So they have to give a sign off stating that we agreed with this SDD. Everything is detailed, everything is available. Because once you leave the company or once the project is done, again they cannot question like why these details are not mentioned or anything. These all agreed one. Basically, it's a proof of documentation.
Okay.
Agreed from both sides again. Even you are
Mm-hmm.
going to agree and they are also they have to agree. Yeah, this is a solution, everything.
Okay. And one more thing, sir, you were talking about some checklist that you take it from Microsoft during go live. So
Yes.
what is it important step or like
Of
what is
course.
the purpose of this?
The checklist is something not just this project, any project, right? If you're going live, so checklist is nothing but this one again. FRD, FDD, SDD, and then test cases, and then any technical from point of view, they will have some certain checklist, right? The type of the environments, access to the users, all those will be part of those checklist.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the most important, right? So before you get into the production, see, one in each and every phase, you're going to discuss with the customer, you'll get a sign off, that is fine. End checklist will be just a combination of all these activities from functional and technical. And Microsoft is also is going to suggest, I mean, they have a certain checklist, right? You will just follow them. Again, that is not kind of a configuration or anything. It is just a confirmation list.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other doubts? And I see that Sonali has joined. I'm not sure when did you join. Uh, like, are you able to understand? And Avinder,
So my question is, what is the micro this D365 position in the market as compared to Oracle and SAP ERPs?
so comparison will be, I could say, all these are in the same position. There's no up and down. The only thing is what is happening in the market is the migrations. Few companies
Mhm.
are migrating from Oracle to SAP, from SAP to Oracle, from D365 Oracle and SAP to D365. Things are just going here and there, and this is why opportunities are created, and that is constant. Let's say if you, but the opportunities wise, if you want me to be very clear, then obviously D365 is increasing. The reason is SAP is very legacy system, and they have like on-premise version as well as a cloud version as well. Now the recent version is a H4 HANA is, I mean, not recent, even that is also too old itself. But D365 is like a combination. They have got a entire ecosystem designed with them, right? Like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Platform, Power BI. A lot of areas they have covered, and the user interface is bit easy, I can say, compared to other ERPs like Oracle or SAP. And various features are there, maybe which SAP doesn't support, and so that's the reason opportunities are increasing, and maybe the cost also will be there, right? But SAP is like a too advanced, and I can say the system is there in the system almost from 30 years or 40 years, maybe too old. I'm not sure, right? So they have added each and every feature from they have covered every sector, like government, private, manufacturing. You pick up the sector, they have the features. But Dynamics 365 is evolving, even though this is there from long ago, but even now they are rapidly evolving. They're adding their feature, they're adding a lot of features. So that's the reason why the demand for D365 is increasing.
Okay,
And
thank you.
even with compared to AI, they have Copilot. They have their Microsoft has their own Copilot, right? So now they are
Right.
rapidly using this Copilot in D365. They're connecting their automations. A lot of things are happening. See, existing company, if they're using SAP from 20, 30 years, right? They might continue. And what if they feel that, okay, this we need some advanced versions, or let's a complete user friendly versions or something, they might migrate to D365. Or let's say if they want to, and there are certain companies which are not using SAP or Oracle, they're using some, their own systems, or their own build, they build their own ERPs or like softwares or anything, right? And they're also using some 10 15 applications for different areas, for APGL consolidation, everything. They might come into the D365. Instead of having multiple applications, let's go to the D365 which suits all these requirements, right? The requirement are coming from a different reasons and different areas.
Got it. And what all tool access or things will be covered in the actual training?
So we'll provide the trial environment access of the
Okay,
D365. I think that is the only thing.
the
This for the
cloud thing, right?
functional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cloud.
Mhm.
No, there are, again, there are two ways to get the trial environment. This is most important. Yeah, your laptop should support minimum 32 GB RAM and 500 GB SSD. The reason is, currently we do not have the web version. Microsoft has officially revoked the cracked versions of the trial versions. So that's the reason unable to provide the web version. As of now, we have only the installed version. That means we are going
Okay.
to help you to
Mm.
install that in your local machine, and for that it requires minimum 32 GB RAM. In case if your laptop is not supporting, I would request you to enhance your laptop to make sure that you have 32 GB RAM and 500 GB SSD,
Okay.
and the software will be provided, as a part of training itself.
And after training, is it we have to look for a job as a fresher in this industry, or we can showcase some experience?
Again, depends on your expertise level, your confidence level, availability in the market. See, there are multiple factors. If you show experience, you need to justify, and if you go as a fresher, they need to accept, right? It's a I would suggest, since you are already experienced, go with the experience by manipulating or doing some changes. But for that, you'll have to prepare it accordingly. And obviously, depending on your experience in terms of education or your background, everything, right? There, the way they are going to ask you, or the way they are going to look at you, will be very different. Let's say here, you're from the data engineering background, and I believe you must not be from commerce background in terms of education, right? So
Right.
obviously they are going to expect not only functional technical related aspects as well. So you cannot tell that I have only worked for functional, right? Your education, your background, all these things are going to be connected. Let's say here we have one more student like Monica, right? She's from, I think, complete finance background, MBA finance, BCom, worked in the functional experience background. They cannot expect her to have a knowledge on technical aspects, but they can expect a technical aspect knowledge from your side. So it is going to make a difference. But how confidently you are going to explain them is going to be very important. You can clearly tell right from the beginning, I'm into functional, right? And you need to justify with the level of answers that you're going to provide.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And Sonali, if you're speaking on mute or if you're not responding, can we have your response? All right. No worries. You can reach out to the institute for any questions or any doubts, or like if you want me to, if I mean, let's say in case if you're not comfortable to ask any questions in the public forum, I would request you to reach out to the institute. They'll connect me with the one-on-one. We can have a chat. You can clarify there as well.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
So, for the data migration thing,
hmm
so will you cover that part as well?
See, data migration from higher level, we are going to cover, let's say, how data migration works. through import, export, how does the import tool works, export, copy legal entity, the data entities, all these things will give, and will give some sample data so that you can also do the, see, we have a master data templates, right, for all the modules. We also have a sample project we'll be providing with you so that you can use that sample data, everything. Real data migration, if you want to do it in the production environment, that's practically not possible, right? In the trial environment, whatever that is possible within our capacity with the sample data, we'll cover. Yeah, I think that should be enough. But once you get into the project, right, slowly you will get an
Mm-hmm.
hands-on. At least the theoretical and the trial environment experience, if you're okay, then practically you should be able to make it. On the first day
Right.
itself, they are not going to give the entire data and migrate, right? There is going to some discussion. You'll understand. See, let's say if you get into the project, you'll have the requirement. Slowly, you'll have the environment access. You can discussions are going to happen, right? So you will get some time. But yes, you should be aware what is the process.
Okay.
Okay. Also, in terms of experienced candidates, right? I think Avinder and Monica, it seems like you got some good amount of experiences. So the package is also going to make a difference, right? Uh, so you need to figure it out accordingly. I think Monica, since you're already into the D365 finance, then obviously package will not make much difference. Vinder, maybe for you, based on your 15 years of experience, the package that you are currently holding, switching to D365, uh, you need to have multiple questions.
Okay. And regarding the interview questions,
Yeah,
we
that
also
will
get
be there.
for that.
Yeah. We have a lot of interview questions. Hundreds of interview questions are available. I'll share all those details, and you can
Okay.
practice. That is always there. And as a part
Okay.
of this training, we'll also cover some AI related aspects as well. Maybe every one of you are already aware, but I'll try to cover some basics of ChatGPT, Claude, how to use a project, skills, or anything basics. This is like, to make your training easy. Let's say the way you're going to practice, the way you're going to document is going to change in case if you're not aware. Let's say if you're going while practicing, right, you need to make sure that you're documenting everything. Manual documentation, if it is going to take some 5 hours or 10 hours, right? If you use a chat GPT or Claude, within fraction of seconds you're going to complete, right? So maybe we can explore those areas as well,
Okay.
because AI is also very important, right? In any interviews, any tool that we're going to use, AI is going to play a very crucial role. That is going to helpful during interviews to understand the practical application of those AI.
Yes, definitely. And also, sir, I wanted to ask few things. Like nowadays in the interview, they're asking scenario-based question as well as they're expecting many things like electronic reporting, workflows. So, at what experience they are expecting that we should know it?
Right.
And
So it's a good question. So the reason why they're asking, I mean, okay, what kind of experience they're asking is what I heard is even for the freshers, they're asking 1 year experience, they're asking 10 years experience, they're asking the same questions. The only thing is it depends whether you're going to answer them or not, and whether that is necessary to show in your experience or not. And one thing for sure, once you are comfortable with all these basics modules, right? They see anyway the training journey is not going to be part of only the 2 months. Frankly speaking, we are going to cover all those things as a part of within 2 months itself. But from your side, you need to invest some more time to get the any other, let's say, electronic reporting, right? That is too advanced. But in electronic reporting, from functional point of view, what is necessary to understand the higher level overview that you try to get. And workflows, yeah, that is covered. That is like in a small topic itself that you'll understand. We're going to provide the trial environment, all this, right? You can test and try it. See, there are advanced level topics they are going to ask, like inventory calculation, inventory management. See, these are like extended areas. If you want, you can learn all those areas even for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years experience also they are going to ask. But if you are comfortable with the standard, the features, the module that we have, that you are going to put in your resume, and you can be very clear, I have worked only on these modules. But I would always suggest, once you're comfortable with all these modules, right, then you'll go with the extended areas as well. And the scenarios that you ask me, right, we have plenty serious scenarios, n number of scenarios that I'm going to share. That is not a problem because I'm already working. So on daily basis, we keep receiving lot of scenarios. I'm going to share all those scenarios with you. It is up to you how to handle all those things. It all depends, right, how actively that you are going to practice in the trial environment. How are you going to work on all these areas? We have a lot of situations to discuss, and we have forums as well. There are community forums, there are a lot of community forums in D365. I'll share all those details. If you just open that forum, right, or the community, on daily basis you will see some hundreds of tickets where people are posting. You need to read all sorts of blogs. You need to understand why everything cannot be covered as a part of training, but from your side what needs to be covered, that also I'm going to explain. Like, the community forum, the forum tech talks are there. Try to join them, understand their real time situations. You try, if you know the answer, you answer them. You do some research. Let's say in the community forum they posted some vendor invoice related issue. You try to do some research. You can ask in the classes as well. So it will be like apart from the scenarios that I'm going to share, you also need to test it around. Yeah. It is a journey that you need to have that. I mean, these are the things that you'll have to follow during your training journey. And we have Claude AI tools are there. Let us ask few more complicated scenarios, right. So
Yeah.
this, like, we need to use all these tools.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Sonali, I just saw that you have unmuted and then you have muted again. That's fine. All right. I I hope I have answered your questions, right? Have been there, Monica.
Yes, sir.
So you can call me Srinivas. That should be fine.
Okay.
All right. If you do not have any doubts, are we good to wind up?
Thank you,
Yes,
Srinivas.
from my side.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.